Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're going to be playing some MekHQ. We're going to start by picking up exactly where we left off last week, beginning with loading up our game. So 423 should be the most recent. Everything's backwards. What? Oh, okay. So when we left our heroes, we were in the middle of a chase mission where our objective was to escape from rather a significant force of mostly lights and tanks. And we're trying to get to the north edge with at least 50% of our forces. But if you were with me last week, you would know that that is not actually what we are doing. So Challenger Jeep chase time. Yes, I know I've got some extra files in my customs folder is why that's coming up. Let me reset window position. Oh Lord. Oh, it's doing it again.
Is it like crashing?
No, my stat window is off screen somewhere. Let me just check my no. I was able to work through it last time this happened. I should be fine. Hey Varank. So real quick, you may have noticed on my desktop, if you were watching, there's a couple of extra icons here. I did go ahead and sign up for Steam and followers own mode. I shouldn't have followers only turned on. Let me, settings, followers only chat. Oh, it's set to a 0-minute delay on any followers. So let me go ahead and turn that off. Okay. Okay. So Silent K disabled followers only mode for this room. So we should be good to go. But where now that the chat is cleared up, as I was saying, Varank, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that right because it would be super embarrassing to have been saying it wrong this whole time, gifted me the HBS Battletech that came out in 2018, which I am massively appreciative of. Thank you very much for that from the bottom of my heart. And the plan currently is to stream HBS tomorrow. Starting tomorrow at the same time as we're on today. It's not on sale anymore. The sale ended at noon my time. But yeah, that was $10 until pretty recently. So I do, again, really appreciate that, and we'll be trying that out tomorrow. Also, I've been considering doing MechWarrior 5. It is free to play on Xbox Live right now, and I've been told that there's, I believe, cross-platform co-op play, so that could also be very interesting to try out. Just real quick. Okay, so we have won the initiative. Just a quick refresher. We did make it through round 10. We're now on round 11. We did win initiative because of our 2-point bonus. Wind is calm, weather is clear, visibility is daylight. So that is where we're at. Our archer, yeah, no, we've got no stats. That left torso though, and I did just rewatch the end of my last stream to freshen it up in my mind. The archer's left torso is pretty much critical. I guess 3 red dots means all the armor is gone, and the yellow little dealie there indicates that it's taken some structure damage. Oh, there it is. It's hiding from me. I found it! It was just absolutely as small as it could have been. So yes, the archer has lost almost a third of its left torso structure, and this is a problem because in that left torso is 120 LRMs. So, depending on, I'm probably gonna save his move for last, just on account of I want to be able to see what everyone else does before I decide whether to have him flee or maybe turn around and start pelting this region with some long-range missiles. Yeah. Missiles sticking out, screaming to be detonated. So let's see. Next step in getting back to where we were, we need to replace player, and there's only one other player. We're replacing that player with the princess bot using, looks like, default settings all around. We have, okay, so yes, the Jenner, as predicted, did abandon unit. And yes, according to my notes that I held on to from last week, the Jenner was taken out by the Atlas. So that was Captain Murdoch for the kill. We do have, it looks like, up here we've got the Orion dueling with a Firestarter who is probably massively outmatched. We've got Wolverine, and I don't recall what his armor looks like right now. Yeah, he's down to 2 points on the arms, 1 point on the left torso, and in that left torso we've got some SRM ammo. So he's going to be trying to stay about as evasive as possible. You guys can't see the map. Let me truck this over here where hopefully it'll be mostly out of the way. So yes, we've got the Orion and the Firestarter, we've got a Wolverine and an initiative sync. We've got our loner Javelin who just backshot this Firestarter and then kicked him while he was down. We do have the Awesome, the Atlas, and the Archer down. That's these three. I don't know if you can see that green, but these 3 blips here are our guys, all heavies and assaults. And it looks like the long MekHQ generated map I've been looking for. Yeah, sorry. I realized when I was rewatching last week's stream that I had it, let me see if I can try to line this up. I had it like right there where basically the it didn't record this crucial little spot here, which is the target number, which is very important when you're deciding who and what to shoot. So if that ever becomes a problem, you guys, I'd actually really appreciate if you'd let me know that I've you know, obscured something. I did actually shrink the size of my portrait down here in the corner a little bit to hopefully alleviate a little bit of that problem. Other problem is he has all of these initiative syncs. He has these 2 Panthers, which are, yeah, he's missing a leg. He's not far behind. I think, is this one, I think this one is missing a foot actuator. No? Different one. Oh, is this? Yes, this is the one that took a gyro hit. So he's going to be needing 7s to stand up, and hopefully we can do just a little more damage to his center torso and just take him out completely. But in the meantime, so he's going to move the pilot first probably, and then I'm guessing these two Panthers. And then I'll have to respond to that. Even though I won initiative, like, he has the ability to put me in a reactive position just by having so dang many units. So let's see, Atlas. Did I close it? I think I closed it. Yeah, I did. Okay, Atlas. The badly damaged right arm came from when we couldn't repair it last time. We're a little thin in the center torso rear, but other than that, we've got 19 points or more in all locations. So the Atlas, being all big and tanky like that, is probably going to be my first move. Question is, what do I do with him with all of these hover vehicles? Like, no matter where I go, they're just going to line up behind me because they all have that much movement, except for... Can you... I don't recall offhand if hover vehicles are prohibited from entering rubble. I suspect he may have failed a piloting check and ended up in that hex on accident, and he may be unable to move out of it. But I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm expecting him to join the crowd behind the Atlas whenever I do get around to moving him. Now this fire starter is pretty much not going to be a threat for much longer, with Petra chasing him down in this Orion. Wolverine, Atlas Conga Line, yeah. I've also heard it called the Conga Line of Death, where just all the units line up like in alternating teams behind each other. So like my mech in the front getting shot in the back by your mech, and then I've got someone shooting you in the back, and so on. I've seen it happen. It can be fun, especially if you're the one with all the big guns like we are in this situation. Right now, I think, and I know it's not evasive, but if I back the Awesome up to there, he'll have a clear line of sight on pretty much this whole area with those PPCs. And he does have full armor still, except for it looks like a little bit on the right leg. So even if he does get targeted, I think that's a relatively safe move. And yeah, his... so he fell down again, which means he won't be able to torso twist, which means if I were to do this with the Archer, I'd have a short-range missile shot on his left side, which could be a good thing. I'm not going to commit to it just yet, but heavy woods, out of shot of the nearest enemy. Again, I'm going to try to wait and see what these harassers and the Drillson and the Plainsmen do. Because we did win initiative, we are going to get the last move, and that's going to be the Archer. But yeah, in the meantime, he's just moving his pilot around. This guy, you have not yet moved. I know I saw some more movement, but I don't see anyone that has moved. Well, did this guy move? Come on. Yeah, you ran 0 hexes because you have 1 leg. But you didn't eject, which means you're still potentially a threat with your PPC out through a full 180-degree arc. I would kind of like to nullify that threat. I wouldn't be mad if I could get the Atlas to be a little bit evasive. If we do this, we get a +1 mod. We won't be able to kick the Panther, but we'll be able to shoot the heck out of it for sure. But is it worth a run? Or do we maybe do something less evasive? Or... oh man. I hate it when things like this happen, where you win initiative, but the opponent just outnumbers you so much that it's like you didn't. I'd like to end up within 3 hexes of this panther so that he can be at short range for all my medium lasers. It looks like the front is actually his weak side. So let me see here. Yeah, I mean, I think the Atlas is strong enough on armor, but I'd like for him to have that 1 point of evasion, even if it means. Then again, if the conga line forms up behind him, that could bring the archer kind of into like that 5 hex range, because the Drillson I know has a large laser. The Plainsman has just SRMs. So yeah, I think dang, 3 hit. Well, if we do something like this, anyone behind me is going to be shooting through woods where the archer is going to be. Yeah, I think we can afford to be less evasive this turn. It will mean taking a shot from this Panther's PPC, because I am in his arc at short range, slightly within minimum range. But that Panther also has a perk that gives it a -1 bonus at short range, so that's going to nullify that single point of minimum range penalty that he's got. Alright, Vernita. Yes, you are low on armor and would like to stay out of the worst of the fight. Okay, so the Drillson. Apparently, rubble hexes are not prohibited for hover tanks. But yeah, Vernita, you definitely want to have at least 3 points of evasion. Or I mean, the Drillson has the large laser, which I assume he's going to fire at Hoser. The LRM-10, 2 machine guns and 4 SRMs. If we do something like this, we get 3 points of evasion. We get short range. Actually, if we do this, that makes it harder for his machine guns, assuming they're mounted in the turret, which I'm not sure. Yeah, his machine guns are in his front. The LRMs are in the front. SRMs and the large laser are in the turret. So I assume he's firing all of those things at the Awesome because he is just barely in that rear arc. Also, the Awesome is not evasive, and the Wolverine is going to be evasive. And I mean, even if we do get breached on the arms or the left torso, you know, that left torso is a problem. And any hits to his front arc are going to have a 5 and 36 chance of hitting that left torso. It's not great odds. But I don't see any moves that I like more than that. Oh, that's kind of surprising. He seems to be stacking up on the Awesome. And that Harasser definitely failed a piloting check and is now immobile, with apparently no front armor left either. Oh yeah, he is easy kill. So let's see. Okay, the Firestarter has moved and put himself within an easy walk of point blank range to his rear arc from a mech that outweighs him 2 to 1. I mean, well, first of all, this Harasser doesn't have a shot on account of them being in the same hex. The Drillson has a large laser and 2 SRMs. The Harasser, which flanked, and is at medium range has SRMs. I mean, a large laser and an SRM just to strip either the left or right torso, and then the Plainsman, which has just more SRMs. So the odds, I think, of it would have to be a large laser and more than one SRM into one of these side torsos to get a breach. And even if it does breach, there's no ammo because Hoser doesn't like ammo, apparently. So this fire starter ran all of 1 hex, and he is missing his right arm, so his left arm is going to be the only thing he'll be able to fire, and he is not the pilot that we have on loan. So I feel like this, we're at 6 heat now after walking, so we'd be able to fire both of our SRM launchers into his back, and I like those odds. Last time we did that, we hit with 10 SRMs. Custom paint job. I mean, come on. It is a fighting vehicle, and as of right now, that paint job is essentially intact. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to keep the archer on the board, because this Panther doesn't have an arc. That would be a left hand weapons would fire that. This guy, his right hand weapon can only fire along these hexes. So I am quite literally safe from everything. The only thing I can think of is this Drillson has the LRMs and the large laser, but that's extreme range for the LRM, or for the laser. Excuse me. And I'm guessing probably long range for the LRMs. So that's 8 base long range, except that he's a 6/6 pilot who flanked. So that's actually going to be 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 for Woods. Yes, the archer is absolutely going to be perfectly safe right there. I like it. Awesome is a vehicle of peace. After he blows up everything, he wants it peaceful and quiet. Yeah, well, it's about to be. We've already got them down to less than, or it should be about, it was like 50.5% at the beginning of the round, right? Oh, that's current round. Yeah, when I loaded, oh, it doesn't, where does it say? Maybe it's because we're double blind, but it's not telling me the BVs anymore. Okay, so Panther number 2 falls on its left torso and makes his second consciousness check. The Jenner ejected, causing 3 hits to the pilot, which kills him. Panther number 1 does get his 7 with the damaged gyro, but then rolls a 2 for running with a damaged gyro. Takes 4 to the right arm and his first consciousness check. Harasser needs a 5 for flanking and turning, but only gets a 2. Side slips 3 whole hexes into hex 0259, which is prohibited. Takes 5 to the front, stripping it bare. Firestarter needs a 7 to stand up, gets a 10 because he was down a foot actuator. Alright, so we've got 8s on this Panther, or we've got 9s on that Panther in his rear arc. But this Panther looks like he still has full armor on the back, whereas I'd be hitting this guy from the left side, which is, you know, not his PPC side, but if we can land something on that center torso, we would take him out completely. I think he's down to 5. And then, oh wait, no. I did that wrong. Yeah, I'm taking 8s, not 9s. Thank you very much. And then with the LRMs, we've got a 10 there. Got a 14 there. We've got an 11 on the harasser, which is immobile. I don't see anyone else that looks like that'd be less than 11. So, we might as well take the 10 and build up 2 points of heat. I don't like building up 8 points of heat. I don't like building up 8 points of heat because it gives you a targeting penalty, which reduces your overall damage output. So I'm gonna hold off on the other LRM because I'm kind of expecting the archer to stay on the field for next turn, and I want his heat to not be out of hand for that. And of course, I'm not even following my own advice of sticking with the big damage first, and I bet that's gonna bite me in the butt. Watch. The archer is gonna hit this panther and like strip his arm or something, and then the atlas is gonna destroy the arm, and it's gonna go into the torso, and it's gonna go into the front torso when it could have been the back if the atlas had fired first. But I guess it is what it is. We will take all of those threes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cool it on the SRMs because I don't want to be at 26 out of 20 heat, and the SRMs are more likely to miss than the lasers. It's more heat efficient, but I mean the lasers are basically a guaranteed hit, so I feel like I'd be kind of foolish not to. Let's carry on to the Orion, who's getting back shots on this fire starter, who is returning fire, and he's got medium laser and a flamer on 7s. We should not have any problems withstanding such a frightful barrage. So that's going to be the autocannon, obviously. Let's see, 2 lasers, and we can afford to do the SRM, and it's a pretty decent shot into his back, which, to be fair, has probably more armor than his front right now, but that autocannon, hopefully it hits and just like absolutely destroys something. All right, Hoser. Sadly, all of the medium lasers are basically without a target. You've got 11s on the Panther and 14s on this guy. So the medium lasers are not in play. It looks like the PPCs have 8s on the Locust, and that would be a 5 with the large laser, right? 7. Oh yeah, because the specialty. I'm just used to a minimum range of 3 at point blank range being, 3 points higher than. So that's 8s and 7s on the Locust. Or we've got a single 6 on the Drillson, or a guaranteed hit on the Harasser. Now, so we've got the 1 PPC in the right arm that can target the Harasser. This should be the last round, right? No, we are not playing to half. This is an escape mission. Our goal, technically, is to reach the north side of the map. So we're playing to 0. So the PPC at the Harasser is a guaranteed hit if it's the only thing I shoot. However, if I fire at any other targets like this Locust, that Locust being in the front arc is necessarily going to be the primary target. So that turns the PPC on the front of the Harasser. Honestly, any part of the Harasser takes 10 points of damage, it's toast. So I think, or, we could save the right arm for a punch. Well, we've got the left arm for a punch. Oh, wrong button. Okay, so skipping the right arm for now, we've got 1-8, 1-7. If we add this, let's go ahead and target the front just cause. Try to save some of that armor for salvage, I guess. That puts us at 33 heat, which is kind of unfortunate. It's wasting 5 heat sinks, which you all know I hate. Yeah, escape by elimination. I don't like being down 5 heat, because that means I could fire another PPC, but it'll take a movement penalty next round. Or I could hold off on the large laser or replace it with a PPC. I'd still only have 35 out of 38 heat. I mean, we're still going to get to punch the Locust because our left arm is gunless. I mean, he doesn't need to be evasive, but I kind of want him to be next turn. So I'm going to hold off on the other PPC just to keep that heat from being too bad. So the Wolverine now has, looks like 9s on the Locust, 10s on the Harasser. Well, you're already dead. You're taking a PPC on a 4 or better, and anywhere it hits will kill you. We also have, let's see, 10, 11. So we've got a 9 on the Locust with the autocannon. We've got 9s on the Drillson and the Plainsman with the lasers and missiles. You're just not as good as a shot as I wish you were. The Drillson has taken some front damage. The Plainsman not so much. The Locust is already missing an arm and is almost missing his head. How low actually is that? Yeah, any shot to the head. As unlikely as it is. Let's see, the right torso, a glancing blow would only deal 2 damage. It would have to be a solid blow. Solid blow to the left arm as well. 9s and 11s. Or 11s and 9s. Or 9s and 10s, I think, is probably most efficient. And maybe I can ding up that front a little worse. So we're going to take a 10, a 9, and a 9. We're up to 3 heat, but it's a Wolverine. Wolverines don't really care about heat. They are, in my opinion, oversunk. One of the first things I like to do with a Wolverine, or no, it's the Shadowhawk I'm thinking of. Yeah, the Shadowhawk has more heat sinks than it needs, for sure. We've got 5s into the back of this fire starter, and if he's still standing, we're probably going to go for punches. Alright, fire starter on the Javelin, missing on 7s. Archer on the Panther, destroying the right arm, transferring into the right torso. Everything else misses, though. Fire starter on the Orion, takes 5 to the left torso, 2 to the chest. Atlas on Panther number 2. Going internal on the left arm, 2 structure remaining, upper and lower arm crits. Medium lasers to the right torso and right arm. Going internal on both of those, and then the last one to this, next to last one on the center torso, and then the last one to the right arm, destroying the PPC, transferring into the right torso, which is also destroyed. So, yeah, this guy is basically toothless now. The Plainsman at Hoser hits with 5 SRMs. We've still got 22 armor on the left and right torso. We're fine. It's not even a piloting skill check. Panther number 2 at the Atlas, hitting the left torso. Down to 14 armor there. That's slightly concerning. Orion on the Firestarter hits the arm with that autocannon. I was kind of hoping for a torso or something. Medium laser to the left leg and 2 SRMs to the right torso, rear, and left leg. Down to 1 armor there. Other Panther at the Atlas, 10 points to the right torso. So that's going to be a piloting skill roll for him as well. The Locust landing 2 more points on the Awesome's right torso. And the Awesome returning fire at the Locust, dealing 5 damage to the left arm, and then 4 damage to the right leg. Did hit the harasser, destroying it, so that's cool. One more kill for Hoser. Small price to pay in armor for getting a kill. That's XP, man. How else do you think you're gonna earn it? The Drillston at the Awesome, landing 3 more SRMs, 1 to each arm and the right torso rear, but still not in any real danger there. Wolverine, after all my careful calculations and considerations, cannot roll higher than a 7. The Harasser at the Atlas, landing 6 SRMs to the right arm and right torso, and our friendly Javelin at his Firestarter, landing 6 missiles. Left arm, left torso rear, right leg going internal, but not quite getting a crit. Even though he gets to roll twice, because he did get the Snake Eyes result. And then the right arm, right torso rear down to 1, left arm gone internal. And the Atlas is the only PSR this round. Needs a 4, gets a 7. And now... Ooh. Now here's a question. Do we punch the Locust on a 7? The Locust who already has, I believe, 1 point of structure left in his head. Or do we kick the Harasser for 16, also on a 7? Both 7s, right? Yeah, 7 or 7, either way. This Harasser... Wrong. Okay, there we go. This Harasser. Yeah, that kick would absolutely destroy it. The Locust, the punch would... If it hit the arm, it would destroy the arm, but not go internal on the torso. If we hit the torso, it would strip it, but not go internal. The armor would hold in the center torso. The right torso would be destroyed, and it would transfer to the center torso. So do we go for the kill on the Harasser, or do we try... to take out his other machine gun? That's really the only thing we could hope for in one hit, unless we get the head. 1 in 6 chance that we'd take out the head. Honestly, the Harasser, with its... how many missiles does the Harasser have? I think it's 2 6s. No, it's a 10. An LRM 10. Oh, yeah, he fired at the Atlas. But on a punch, if we miss, there's no chance of falling down. So I'll go ahead. It's a near thing. It's a very near thing, but I'll take the punch. And then this Firestarter. If he took a punch from the Orion in the torso, that would go internal. The right arm would be destroyed, the left arm would go internal. And we would need... Oh, we fired arm guns. Dang it. Alright, well, we'll take the kick on the 5 at any rate. And then this guy also probably, yeah, he is really torn up back here. And even if we land that left arm, that would disable it. Of course, if we kicked him, we'd have a 50-50 chance of legging him. On 8s, oh, for 3 damage. I was thinking it would be 4. I was thinking he was 35 tons. Yeah, that wouldn't destroy the arm in one hit. I'm gonna go for the kick, because there's a very real chance that we can leg him. Alright, Locust kicks Hoser in the right leg for 4 points, 22 armor remaining. Hoser responds by punching the Locust in the right torso, destroying it and transferring it to the center torso. Also, because there are no crits in the right torso, and we did roll a critical hit, that automatically transfers to the center torso, so he's now got an engine hit. Not that he cares, the only thing he has that builds up any heat is a laser. So he can actually still sink all of the heat he's generating. Orion kicks the Firestarter in the right leg, critting his hip and leaving him with 1 structure remaining. So he's very likely going down, because that hip is, I believe, a +2 penalty. Javelin kicks the fire starter in the right leg, destroying the leg, transferring into the right torso rear, and going internal. So, Awesome got kicked, needs a 4, gets an 8, stays standing. Fire starter, yes, +2 for the hip. Rolled Snake Eyes anyway, takes 4 to the left torso, 7 armor remaining, needs an 8 to avoid damage, and barely gets it. Other fire starter, lost a leg, automatically falls, takes 4 to the left arm, which is destroyed. Needs a 12 to avoid hurting the pilot. Needs a 5 to stay conscious, gets a 7. So that was, all in all, a rather good round. Archers at 2 heat, Atlas at 2 heat, Orion at 4, Wolverine at 3, Javelin at 4. Their Panthers are at 5 and 10 heat. Their fire starters are both at 6. So those guys are all getting movement penalties. Not that the Panthers care because they're not standing up. Our dice tied for initiative, but our bonus brings us over the top. They're down to 31% remaining. So, well and good. All right. Again, I think we're going to hold off on moving the archer until I know what this guy's doing. He's only got a gyro hit. He still has both of his legs, so theoretically he could stand up for 2 points and then have 3 movement points to move. So he could get right up in my face, and I think he still has SRMs, which are really good for crit seeking, which is exactly what he is going to be trying to do with that LRM ammo. Alright, so Hoser. Going to try to avoid taking any more damage with Hoser. So we're going to be as evasive as possible because we do have that straight line ahead of us. We can rack up 2 points of evasion. This is Panther number 1, I assume. Panther number 2, do I have? I don't think I have a note for who killed, or who legged that that other Panther. Oops. So yeah, Hoser running 5 hexes for that maximum evasion. Holding off on the archer. Atlas. Really, the only threat over here is the Panther, and it's, again, only got an SRM 4. Let me hold off on the Atlas for right now, see if I can maybe figure out how to optimize that. Now this fire starter hasn't moved yet, but he's taken some leg crits, so his movement is down to 2-3. But he could technically still stand up and move, or he could just rotate in place. He could turn around completely if he were so inclined. This locust, did I get a thing? Yes, I did get a thing. That locust is crippled and withdrawing. I would like to try to salvage that if I could. We would be giving up 1 point of evasion, but we'd be landing in woods, which kind of makes that back. If anything, we'd be building up less heat. So yeah, you've got the autocannon. You can get some good overwatch. And yes, this Panther did turn to face me. So if I can get out of his front arc, but I can't. Well, no. That's out of his front arc. Unfortunately, it also puts him out of my front arc. It also puts me at medium range from this harasser, which has LRMs. Ooh, that's a tough call. The archer might be bailing out this turn, or, you know, what other options have we got? We can get 5 hexes from him. So he's a 3-4. 3, 4, 5 for range. 6, 7 for woods. 8 for my movement. I don't like those odds. 8s is too easy to hit. And the only way I can get out of his arc is to make myself a target for someone else. Really need to get Case into this archer. I actually, the other day, I was talking to someone on the Discord, and I'm sorry, but I forget who, but I was talking to someone about this archer and how it's always a hair's breadth away from losing its LRM ammo, and so I created a design that has Case to hopefully protect it from that. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and retire from the field of battle, as they say. Wow, you just booked it. Where are you going? Super evasive, flanked 11 hexes for a mod of 4. Still have full health and still have 14 SRMs. Javelin apparently did score the kill on this one. He ejected, so that's cool. As a matter of fact, this Javelin, heck of a pilot. I mean, a heck of a shot. I mean, let me see here. So if we walk plus 8 heat worth of missiles, that's 9. So we would drop our heat by 1, which is a good thing. By doing that, we're not any more evasive. We give ourselves a penalty with the missiles, which goes from what, 7 to 8 with his movement in our gunnery. We'd get the kick, but we're not really good at kicking with this pilot. I think we're just gonna walk because we're not really worried about the damage this Javelin takes because it's a loner. So let's see. It looks like Hoser is going to be probably shooting at this Panther. So Murdoch, I don't think, has to worry too much about that. Which means that Murdoch can come over here and start wailing on this Harasser, which only has a mod of 2 and very little armor. Or I kind of want to let the Drillson go first. And since, has this guy moved yet? Yes, he did. He apparently walked. What we're going to do, we're just gonna back up a little bit and take the nice, easy back shots on a prone adjacent mech. Those are gonna be pretty much guaranteed to hit. So the Drillson kind of hauled ass away from here. He flanked 9 though, not 10. So he's got a +3. That's medium, that's also medium. So it'd be 2, 3, 4 for movement, 5, 6 for range, 7, 8, 9 for his movement. I'm gonna go ahead and move here, and I'm going to commit to, I think, shooting at the Harasser more than anything. Alright, yes, Panther. Lands in clear terrain, destroyed by ejection, needs a 7 to stay conscious. Firestarter needs a 13 and fails, takes 4 hits, which does cause him to black out. Locust needs a 6 for entering rubble, gets a 12. Panther needs a 7 to stand up with a damaged gyro, only gets a 6, takes 4 to the right torso rear, 4 structure remaining. Archer fled the battlefield. Firestarter fell on his right torso for 4 and also made his first consciousness check. Alright. So, what have we got here? We've got 6s. We've got 8s. And we've got 10s. So obviously we're going to take the 6s. We could do 1-8 at 40%, but that would put us at 2 heat. Or we could take a pair of 10s. That's 16%. What would be heat neutral? I'm gonna go ahead and build up the 2 points of heat on the more likely to hit shot. 10s are just really bad. Alright, so Murdoch has, it looks like 7s on the harasser, and yes, 5s. I don't think we need to waste the autocannon ammo on him. I mean, literally, we just have to hit him with 2 lasers in the same location. And we've got 5 lasers and some SRMs. So yeah, well, what else could we potentially do? Those were 10s. That's a pilot. That's a 9. And I kind of want to, make sure that Locust doesn't get away. Alternately 13s. No, I think the harasser is just gonna eat some fire. Is it even worth firing the SRMs? I mean, that's 3 heat that we probably don't even need to worry about. We've got a 12 there, would leave us at 2 heat. Or we could take a 10, but also put us at 2 heat over. Yeah, I'll take a shot at that Locust on a 10 for 2 heat. Orion, yeah, we know what you're doing. That's the autocannon, both lasers, and the SRM's on a 2. That leaves us at 4 heat, and I cannot express enough how glad I am that this Orion has the 3 extra heat sinks. It is just so much better that way. I'm really enjoying it. Alright, so we've got 11s and 10s, or 8s. And if we take the 8s, that 10 becomes an 11, so it kind of becomes moot at that point which target we take. I'll take the 11 and a couple of 8s and leave us at 3 heat. And then the Javelin, who was not very evasive and is now being shot at by a Drillson on 9s and 11s, so not too worrisome. We'll go ahead and build up 3 points of heat to get both of the SRM launchers on the Plainsman. Hopefully we can incapacitate it somehow. Alright, Hoser on Panther number 1, destroying the right torso, transferring into the center torso, critting the engine, missing with the second shot, and the third shot goes to the head, critting the sensors and causing a second pilot or consciousness check. I was really hoping for a kill, but I guess he was had more structure remaining than I had realized. Firestarter landing a flamer on the Orion's right arm. Atlas on the harasser lands 2 hits to the turret, which kills it. Does not hit the Locust. The Plainsman on the Javelin needing 8s and getting 3 and 7. The Orion at the Firestarter, right torso rear takes 10. Medium laser to the center torso rear, medium laser to the right torso rear, transferring into the center torso, critting the engine. SRM's critting the gyro. Very nice. Engine and gyro hit on a Firestarter, and Firestarters already run super hot with the lasers and the flamers. The Drillson does land his large laser on the Javelin, needs a 9, gets an 11, strips the left torso, and let me just check. Yeah, there is SRM ammo in both of those torsos. So, one of our objectives is to keep this Javelin alive, so he needs to start being more evasive. Wolverine on the Locust does land a medium laser to the chest, but his armor holds. Harasser on the Wolverine needs an 8, gets an 8, hits with all 10 LRMs to the right torso and left leg. Wasn't playing him maybe as cautiously as I should have been, considering how thin his armor is. Javelin on the Plainsman, landing 5 SRMs, immobilizing it, exactly what I was hoping for. Immobilizing it twice, actually. Left side is also down to 12 armor. Rear is down to 10. And no one took enough damage for a piloting check, so that's cool. That's going to be a kick on a 1. That's going to be a 6. Yeah, I'll take that. Orion kicks the Firestarter in the leg for 15, 6 of which transfers to the left torso rear, leaving him with 5 structure. Wolverine kicks the Locust in the right leg, destroying it, 3 damage transferring to the center torso, leaving him with 1 armor, and, crucially, preventing him from fleeing next turn. Because you have to be standing at the beginning of your move phase to flee. He falls, takes 2 to the chest, and needs a 12 to avoid damage and a 5 to stay conscious, so he gets a 7. Awesome is at 2 heat, Atlas at 2 heat, Orion at 4, Wolverine at 3, Javelin at 3. They're down to a Locust, a Panther, and a Firestarter, and that Firestarter is running hot. They're down to 14% of their remaining battle value. So, actually, we're down to, oh yeah, because the Archer cost us several points. And our objective is to get 50% of our forces to the north edge, so I would say we're essentially, at this point, guaranteed. Kind of want to avoid moving through this rubble if I can. I knew when I moved him here, I was doing it specifically for that turn to get him, you know, those 2 points of evasion. But now I kind of need to find another route. I don't see any way to get him into medium range. So we are going, I mean, the only thing left is the Drillson, I think, really. The Firestarter is lagged, the Plainsman's immobile. Those 2 are both ejected. Yeah, that Drillson is the only real threat left on the field. Wait. Oh, did the Locust eject? Okay, yeah. Let me just Wolverine LCT Locust. Yeah, let me wait and see what the Drillson does. Wolverine, you are super hurt. So I'm not retreating, I'm just positioning myself strategically so that I can bring that autocannon to bear on the greatest possible area while still being evasive. I would jump maybe this way, but then I've got these woods, and the Drillson's gonna probably hide from me. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the south. It's not cowardice, it's tactics. And of course he's gonna move the Drillson last, because that is his prerogative. Javelin, which has no armor left in his left torso, and does store ammo there. Running in the direction opposite the enemy. That is very different from retreating. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not running away. I'm just repositioning. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up that initiative sync. Wait, what happened down here? Oh, he's immobile now. He's gonna be super easy to headshot. Let's see, you walked, you're a veteran pilot, medium range, so that's 6s. 7, 8, 9 for the headshot. I don't know, we might go for the torso. We'll see what the numbers look like. Alright, this is Vernita in the Orion, Petra in the Orion. Petra is also a veteran pilot. Do I think she can make a 4? Yeah, I do. Or at the very least, I'm willing to take the chance. Alright, so the Drillson lining up behind Hoser again. does get us... I mean, we could go for the kick if we got closer, but that would mean running. He's already a mod 3. I'll take the walk and hope that the lasers or SRMs immobilize him. Alright, yes. Locust ejects. And yes, that was a kill by the Wolverine. Firestarter ejects. That was the friendly Javelin. Panther tries to stand up, needs a 7, gets a 5, takes 4 to the left leg, going internal, needs a 7 to avoid damage, needs a 7 to stay conscious, only gets a 3. And Petra needs a 4, gets a 4. So I feel like maybe she almost lost her balance there or some such. Alright. Now, we've got 8s on your head. If we hit your center torso with literally anything, you're toast. Or we could go for the leg. Yeah, one of those PPCs would take out that right leg very nicely. And then we'll also shoot the large laser at the left leg, just in the hopes of double legging him. So right leg on 1s, 1, 2, and 3. And the left leg on a 3 puts us at 3 heat for the turn. Hopefully double legs the Panther and forces him to eject. Atlas on the Drillson, we've got a 7 for 10 points, or we can take a bunch of 5s for 5 points. 5. And the SRM on a 7 puts us at 2 heat. I like it. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish off this Plainsman. Where do I want to hit him? That left side is down to 16. So that's 10, 15, 20, 28 potentially. Even if the last 8 of that is not direct, actually. That was a 1 versus a 2. They're both guaranteed hits. The LRM 10 potentially does more damage, but the SRM gets more locations. Alright, so our strategically maneuvered Wolverine has an 11 on the Drillson. Pilot, that thing's immobile, technically on an 8. I mean, that guy's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. This guy actually kind of still has a chance of surviving. Because, I mean, he's got, aside from the missiles, which are going to scatter, he only has the autocannon and 2 lasers. And all 3 of those would have to hit his left side to deal at least 16 damage. So we are, yeah, we're going to try to throw in a little bit of extra insurance on that left side with the autocannon. And then 16s. That's 1 hex out of our arc. And I can't torso twist because that autocannon would then not have a shot on the Plainsman. So it looks like Wolverine is firing only 1 heat worth of weapon this turn. Javelin has 4s on the Plainsman versus 12s on the Drillson. I mean, I would rather shoot the Drillson, but it's basically an impossible shot. But we'll go ahead and take a cooldown turn and only fire 1 of the SRMs. Alright, so Hoser legged the Panther, killed the Panther, and then, well, didn't double leg it. But yeah, that is CT destruction. Atlas on the Drillson, that's the front for half movement. Front again, front again, front again, front again, front again, and killed. And then one more SRM to the front just for spite. The Orion on the Plainsman hits the front, and the left side. Left side again with one of the SRMs, but and then even the extra insurance from the Wolverine does not pay off. Drillson at the Atlas hits for 8 to the left arm, missing everything else on 10s and 8s. Javelin on the Plainsman hits the left side twice, leaving it with 1 armor, but still alive. And no one within kicking distance. We are not going to step on a pilot. We are going to pick him up. Virata Chudasama needs a 10 to wake up, rolls an 8. We now control the only mechs on the board. The Orion is the only one at 4 heat. And they're at 1.38%. They have, I guess, 1 unit left with 141 BV. Pilot. 141? Yeah, 141. So this Plainsman is literally the only thing they have left that's worth points. And he has 14 SRMs and a locked turret. So if we can get out of his front arc, yeah, keep him from shooting back. On a 4 better. Come on, Petra. Oh. Roll to 3. Falls on the left side, taking 5 to the leg and 3 to the arm. And more importantly, costing us enough movement points that we are no longer able to get out of its front arc. About the only thing we could possibly do is try to stay at medium range. Even that's a run. But that goes on a 4. Thank you. Second time's the charm. Alright, Hoser should be able to get to, yeah, that's medium range with the PP seasoned laser. Murdoch, 9 hexes, so that's long range for the medium lasers. It's immobile, we're walking, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for range. 3s after the -4 for immobile. Yeah, even at that range, that should be pretty much a guaranteed shot for him. Wolverine, of course, able to get into medium range for the autocannon, so that's cool. And then the Javelin, I mean, there's no reason not to just stand on top of it and kick it, is there? Yeah, we know all this. Needs a 4, gets an 8. Cool. Alright, at the 1 remaining target, which is, oh wait, not the Javelin. I want to view the Plainsman, thank you. Oh lord, it'll only take a medium laser to the front or left side. Alright, so who do we want to try to get the kill? Let's go ahead. I mean, we always start with the big guns, right? On a guaranteed 1. Yeah, we're just 3s, 7s, sure. I kind of feel like this is maybe overkill, but I mean, I'm gonna hold off on like wasting any ammo. A couple of 3s. I mean, I'm not gonna waste too much ammo, but autocannon 5 ammo is essentially free as far as I'm concerned. And Javelin, you're standing in the same hex, so you don't have a shot. Yes, first shot kills it completely. With a fuel tank explosion as well, so just woof, big old fireball. And that should be, is it gonna make us, it's gonna make us pick up all the pilots. We're not gonna do that. That's a waste of time. We're just going to declare victory and save our salvage. Alright, so before we get out of this though, Following units are in retreat. Graveyard contains Stinger, which I've got went to the Wolverine. Scorpion destroyed by the Awesome. Hunter destroyed by the Archer. Harasser destroyed by the Atlas. Firestarter number 3 ejected. I've got that one down as the Orion. Scimitar goes to the Awesome. Jenner ejected. I've got that one to the Atlas. Harasser destroyed by the Awesome. Panther number 2 ejected, and I don't have that one listed, so we need to check on that. Firestarter number 2 ejected also, so that was Panther number 2 and FS9 number 2. We need to figure out who got those kills. Harasser destroyed by the Atlas. Locust ejected. That one goes to the Wolverine. Firestarter number 1 ejected. We need to figure out who that one goes to as well. Let's see. Drillson destroyed by the Atlas. Panther destroyed by the Awesome. 2 pilots killed by pilot error, presumably when they ejected. Plainsman destroyed by the Awesome. All right, so we've got Firestarters number 1 and 2 and Panther number 2. Okay, so it was before round 13. Right? Panther number 2. Okay, so Panther number 2 ejected at the beginning of round 12. So presumably round 11 was when he made the decision. And Firestarter number 2 as well. Where is Firestarter number 1? Okay, FS9 number 1 was prone after the movement phase on round 12. Who shot Firestarter number 1? Was that? It looks like it was the one dueling with the Orion. Let me just double check. Find the Orion. Yes. 10 to the right torso rear. Blow off the right arm. Engine gyro. Yes. Okay. So FS9 number 1 goes to N1KA. Right. That's yeah, KA. Just all right. So round 11 should be when Panther number 2 tries to get up and fails. All right, Firestarter number 2 needs to get up and got up. Firestarter number 2 firing at the Javelin. Okay, so we don't get credit for that one because the Javelin is not part of our team technically. And then Panther number 2 took a medium laser from, all right, that's Panther number, okay, Panther number 2 is the one that was further away. Atlas, 10 to the right arm, right torso, right arm, center torso, right arm destroyed. Think, oh, no, Panther shooting back at the Atlas. Panther shooting at the Atlas. Firestarter. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the Atlas was the last one to shoot at that Panther. Destroyed its PPC, and I guess when it was down to its SRMs, it decided to eject. So it's going to go to AS7D2 as well. All right. So, I do appreciate that the game gives you this like last chance to go over like who got what and everything. So yeah, Hoser got 5 kills. That's some good XP. Murdoch got looks like 3, 4, 5, 6 altogether. Yeah. Orion didn't get any kills yet, but we will assign Firestarter number 1. Vernita got the Stinger and the Locust, so a couple kills there that weren't automatically recorded. I'm losing all the paint. I'll fix it, I promise. Yes, we did, even though I am well aware that it says here defender controls the battlefield, but that's not taking into account the fact that we killed all the defenders. So Archer took some internal damage, pretty low on the center torso, some rear armor, left arm pretty low as well. Might be a candidate for going into the workshop, the transport bay. Hitting in 7 locations out of 11, so yeah, it lost some paint, I'll give you that, but again, I will fix it. Atlas getting a smattering of damage all over, but doesn't look too bad. I guess we'll see when we get to the repair bay. Orion, mostly green, couple yellow, so not bad there. And then the Wolverine took significant armor damage, but did not penetrate. So all in all, I would say that went pretty well. No one got injured. And we've got, let's see, if there's 34 on the board, we should be able to have about 17 at 50%. So we can pull about 4 million worth of salvage. What do we want? I like Jenners, so that's 1.3 done. I like fire starters, so that's 2.5. So we should have about 1.5 million to 2 million left that we should be able to salvage. This Drillson has the large laser, has some armor. Looks like a little over 4 tons of armor we'd be able to salvage off of that thing. But it's 500,000 C-bills. I mean, we can get 5 tons of armor for that much. The Panther is cheap, but it's also not much left of it. Or, you know, we could save it for the next mission. Again, I mean, yeah, we've got about another 2 months on this contract, so we don't have to take it all right now. But 45, 48. Yeah, if something big comes along, something like in the 4 to 5 million C-bill range, I want to have enough of a percentage left to be able to claim it. Alright, so we captured a couple of dudes from the Drillson. We killed one. We captured a guy from the Harasser. We captured the Locust pilot, one of the Panther pilots, Scimitar and Scorpion crew members. So that's cool. That's either money in the bank or bodies in the seats. Any good pilots, keep them. Otherwise, ransom them back. Could always use the money. That is always the plan with captured pilots and honestly all combat personnel. The only thing is I can't ransom them back until the end of the contract, and I also can't recruit them until then. So in the meantime, they're probably mostly going to be hanging out in the infirmary. And I guess we've got some kind of stockade or brig that we put them in when they're not there. It is kind of abstracted, which honestly I don't mind. Like, I don't mind micromanaging to a point, but I feel like assigning specific locations in your base to where prisoners are, that feels more like XCOM, to be honest. Alright, so the Locust went to Vernita. Firestarter number 2 was our ally. Firestarter number 1 was Petra. We didn't kill the pilot. The Stinger was to the Wolverine. Firestarter number 3 was Orion. Harasser, Panther. Jenner was the Atlas. pilot. We don't kill pilots out of hand. And Panther number 2 was Atlas. So just to recap, Wolverine got the Locust, the Stinger, the Locust and the Stinger. Hoser got the Scimitar, the Panther, the Harasser and the Scorpion, and the Plainsman. So 1 pilot kill. Archer got the Hunter and nothing else. Orion got the Firestarter, just 2. And then the Atlas got 2 Harassers, the Jenner, the Drillson, and the Panther. So no one actually got more than 2 pilot kills. There were a bunch of tanks in that mission, which sadly are not worth bronze star points. We did get everyone to the north. Well, I guess technically he didn't until like after the fact, but we're okay. Yeah, straight up victory. We got 80% of our forces across the finish line, and we obliterated them doing so. So happy with that. Yes, we have disconnected. Our contract score is 5. All right, first things first. I always do the infirmary first, because I'm prone to forget, and there's no like pop-up or anything warning if you don't do it at the end of the day. We can just go ahead and assign, I guess, all of these to Delphine, and then, you know what, let's, yeah. Y'all aren't going to defect. You don't need good treatment. All right, so we've got Delphine working towards elite status. All right, so this was all stuff we covered last week. Salvage. All right, we added some prisoners to the personnel roster. We convinced Victor Rama, Tanzi Polidoro to defect. 45,000 for the Archer, 7,000 for Hoser, 38,000 for the Atlas, 14 for the Orion, 30 for the Wolverine. Jenner and Firestarter have been added to the unit roster. So, good deal. Outstanding. All that's taken care of. Let's see. I like to do details. I like to do name. Tonnage twice. Type twice. All right, now I know where to find everything. Yeah, I need status real quick. So that is the I forgot I've got limited space in the transport bay. So that's the rifleman in bay 1. Let's keep the stalker in bay 2 for the time being. It'll only be a day or so, I think, before I can get that arm put back together. The Atlas, the Awesome, the Orion, definitely the Archer in bay 3. And then the Wolverine, I think, actually lost the most armor, so we're going to give him bay 4. So that should be all of that done and right and taken care of. Actually, since I'm looking at the chat and it just reminded me to check. So what have we got? We've got a regular mech warrior who's willing to defect, a green mech warrior who's willing to defect. Why are these not? Oh, because I did the XP skill level roll. There we go. Okay, so we've got a veteran mech warrior and a regular and a green mech warrior all ready to defect. Soldiers I'm not super concerned about because they don't come with any kind of equipment, and you know, they're soldiers. And also that guy's ultra green. We do have a regular vehicle driver, which is cool, and it looks like 2 regular and a green vehicle gunners. So that's cool. And one thing I think is interesting to note is that the odds of a captured soldier or mech warrior defecting is actually very dependent on your unit rating. So the bigger and more well-known your unit is, the more likely your captured people are to want to join you. And we are currently a C-rated unit, which is fair to middling. That'll improve as we finish missions and whatnot. And actually, I'm just curious here. Is there anything we can do to maybe try to bring that up a little bit? Is there any deficiencies we need to be aware of? Okay, so average skill rating is veteran, which is a little surprising. Captain Murdoch Belfry has 1 point of each of the command skills. We've got 2 successful campaigns under our belt. We have basically no transportation capabilities. Our tech support is 100%, our medical support is 100%, HR support is 100%. So, yeah, I don't see any way that we can bring that up any real quick and easy. Obviously, the longer a unit is around, the more contracts it completes, the better its score gets. So, like that should just kind of gradually increase as time goes on. So we've got until 6/18, so it's just shy of 2 months left on this contract, but I would say we're doing relatively well. We're a little broke at the moment, but in about a week we should get a payment that should double the funds that we have on hand, which is nice. Alright, so I think that is pretty much everything except for the repair bay, which we all know is going to take the longest. It being Thursday, so we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and technically Monday. 5 days to get ready for another mission, should it come to that. I really don't want to break this left torso. 6 is not great. 6 is 3 times as likely to break as a 5. But Halima, yeah, you can go ahead and get started on that. It'll take you a quarter of your time for tomorrow, but shouldn't be a problem. Kazuko, you are hereby nominated for ammo duty. And let's just go ahead and reload the SRM and the autocannon. Reload the one shot from the LRM and the autocannon. Wolverine used some ammo as well. Griffin? Yeah, Griffin's missing like some parts. Alright, so other than that, it should all just be replacing armor. And I know y'all gonna criticize me, 1 or 2 of you at least, for the target numbers that I like. You guys know I like a target number of 4. Veteran techs annoy me. I like elite techs for everything, but we don't always get what we want. So I'm making a conscious effort to allow the target numbers to be a little bit higher in the name of saving time overall, even if it does cost a little more in the way of armor points that get wasted. Now on a 7, that breaks on a 2, 3, or 4, which is twice as likely as a 2 or 3. I really want to double that. But more importantly, I don't want to give my high XP dude a big job like that. Oh, barely. Armor, it's just armor. It's It's not though. See? That's a 20-minute job. Just took me over an hour because I failed 3 times on a bloody 6. So don't be telling me it's just armor. Because I know how the dice gods act around me. And I know that my dice hate me. And there's nothing I can do to change that. Yeah, he got 1 point of XP. They'll gain XP if you give them enough time. That's what I'm saying. XP gain is pretty much... I believe, and I may... Let me double check this. But it's successful operations give XP, and the 2 and 12s. But the 2 and 12s, that's a 1 in 18 chance. Yeah, 20 successful tasks. So, yes, I saw that he rolled a 2. That's what I'm saying. If a 2 had been successful, he would have gained an XP for rolling a 2, and he also would have gained 5% of the way to his other XP. Failing is only worth... Failing is worth less XP than succeeding, is the point that I'm trying to make. Alright, so that's the archer. Should be done tomorrow. Loney, let's give you the small jobs. And you're down to just a few minutes left in the day, so I don't like it. I know. Alright, we'll take a 6 with Chris on this 80 minutes of armor. We'll give... Maybe we'll find a 45 later, or a 20, you know? Okay, so the archer should be about done. The Atlas is in the field. Honestly, these are some kind of big numbers. These are all like around 100 minutes, 150 minutes. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna try to get this Stalker put back together and then move the Atlas into the Stalker's Bay. We should have enough time, I think, to do that. No one else has the time for that, so we'll go ahead, take the 5. Can't believe I'll let you pressure me into it, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and get started on that actuator. Try it on a 7. Got it. Okay. In that case, it did save me half a day's worth of work, so I'll give you that. On an 8 though, I don't think so. That's less than 50-50. Moving on then. What do we got? We got 20, 15, and 15. That's not going to be enough to finish pretty much any job, I don't think. So I might as well get started on something that won't get done today. On 8, no. We'll take a 6. That should be done tomorrow. Oh, that's right. I was holding off on the Atlas until it was out of the field. So what else have we got? Stalker, yes. How many heat sinks do we have? I wonder. We have 4 functioning heat sinks. Just out of curiosity, how many double heat sinks do we have? We have 79 double heat sinks. I wish I could convert them. But as it is, let me just not GM mode, actually. Probably should do that just to keep myself honest. We're gonna go ahead and buy 10 heat sinks, 20,000 Seabills worth, and we'll have 1 in tomorrow. And that's just because heat sinks aren't really something that you want to run out of. Oh, and our green tech got A heat sink installed on an 8 first try. That man gets a medal. Medium lasers. How many of those do we have in stock? After all the mech parts, medium laser, we have 7. We have 7 medium lasers. Yeah, I feel like if we lost 1 or 2, that wouldn't be a big deal. So we'll go ahead and get started putting those in the stocker. The LRM-10, excuse me, right before all the mech parts. LRM-10, we have 2. Those are a little pricier, but let me just get 1 more of those on the way so that we can, I mean, I'll take a chance on like a 7 or so with the first one, and if I break one, then I'll try for like a 5, and if that one breaks, then, you know, I'll be down to my last one. Well, we'll be in 2 days. And it looks like we're also getting really short on certain types of ammo, so maybe we should consider stocking up a little bit. 100 shots of autocannon ammo should be plenty. We do have flak ammo if I ever decide to use it. This LRM-15 ammo comes in lots of 8, so let's get 40 more rounds on the way. And yeah, now we've crossed below the 6 million C-bill threshold, which, yeah. We're also running a bit low on LRM-20 ammo, but it's not, well, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget. I'm just saying, trust me, I know. Let me go ahead and get another 12 shots on the way. And yeah. Machine gun ammo, we've got 1,000 rounds. SRM-2, SRM-4, SRM-6. Tracer ammo for all the different autocannons. And then, actually, being that it is 3046, I'm suddenly struck by an inclination. Nope. Precision ammo is not available yet, apparently. What other kinds of ammo are there? We've got tracers, we've got flak. Battle armor ammo, cluster ammo, copperheads, ELRMs, fast cam. Okay, flak, we've got planchette, fuel air bombs, handgun ammo, illumination. I mean, what's the difference between these two? Why is that one twice as much? Oh, because it's the cannon. Might as well. Let's go ahead. We'll buy 1 ton of that for, you know, a few thousand C-bills. 1 ton of that. And 1 ton of that. You know, just to have it on hand. Let's see. Inferno ammo. Doesn't. I assume that's SRM ammo, but I'm not sure. We've got laser pistol ammo, laser rifle ammo, LB-10X ammo, which honestly we should probably have. The cluster ammo is not even available right now. Let's go ahead just to have that on hand for. I mean, it's 36,000 C-bills. We can afford that. Light Gauss, impossible. Long Tom, we have 20 shots. LRM ammo. Oh, yeah, we might. Heat-seeking ammo. I'm not entirely clear on the rules for heat-seeking ammo, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it might be worth having a couple of those on hand. Smoke ammo as well. Okay, we've got that. We wanted some heat seeking. Oh, it's 4 shots per ton, that's why. And some smoke ammo. And okay, we got enough of that. We got a couple tons of that. 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 We do not need long-range torpedo ammo. We're good for machine gun ammo. MMLs aren't... I don't think MMLs are a thing yet before 3050, but apparently their ammo is. Naval autocannons, nail guns, narc pods. On a 7+, I mean, they're cheap. Might as well. Needler, particle cannon, peacemaker ammo, Phoenix, LRM ammo. Why 15 and 20 but no 10 or 5, I wonder. I'm not familiar with Phoenix ammo either, so I guess there's probably something to that I don't know. We're not worried about primitive weapons or prototype weapons. Railgun, revolver, rifle, rocket launchers, shaped charge mortars. I don't think those are available yet either. Those are, I think, level 3 rules. Shotgun, SMG, smoke grenades, smoke long tom ammo. Go ahead and buy a ton of that. Smoke mortar ammo, smoke sniper ammo. Try saying that 5 times fast. And smoke thumper ammo. Might as well get some regular sniper ammo in case we ever get a sniper, so we're not like trying to scramble for it at the last minute. SRM2 heat-seeking ammo. Now, for like an LRM-20, getting half as many shots per ton is kind of a problem. You're giving yourself 3 shots per ton, but with an SRM2, where you normally get 50 shots per ton, it's much less of a disadvantage. So yeah, let me go ahead and try that out. And we'll get some Inferno ammo too, and some smoke. What else is available? Yeah, we'll go ahead and get one of those, one of those. Yeah, I'm just stocking up on all of the random ammo types, just so I can mess around with that. I probably should have done that with the Fighting Bulldogs before I got to this point, but I just wanted to go down the list and see what all ammunitions were available, so I could just make sure to have, you know, everything set up and ready. Ammo is generally pretty cheap, relatively speaking. You know, 50,000 C-bills for a ton, I don't consider that a huge investment when you're talking about a mech that's, you know, 5 to 20 million C-bills or whatever. Thumper ammo we're good for. Tracer ammo we're good for. Light autocannons aren't a thing yet. Ultra autocannons take apparently different ammo than regular autocannons. And 4 or 5, let's go ahead and get 100 shots of that. Vintage Gatling gun ammo. Alright, so let me just... Yep, our procurement list has expanded quite a lot because we don't have enough personnel to yeah, we're only ordering 24 items per day with 3 administrators and each one making 8 hide impossible targets. Yeah, I've done that before, but in this case I just kind of wanted to see what was available, just like the full list, because sometimes I've noticed certain things will be impossible target number for various reasons, like depending on the contract that you're on or something. I just wanted to know, you know, get a better idea of what was available. Alright, so that's the repair bay. Is there anything else in the warehouse that we... I mean, armor, we've got 400 points. Let's go ahead and pick up another 400 points, because 400 is not as much as I would like. I normally try to keep at least 800 points in stock, regardless of how many mechs I'm fielding. 800 points, you know, what is that, 50 tons is, I would consider that the bare minimum. Depending on the situation, I wouldn't mind having like 2,000 to 3,000 points, because that's, that reminds me actually, one of the major differences between StratCon and this build is that in StratCon, what I've found is that it's much more self-paced. You explore the map by deploying your units, and the faster you explore the map, the more combat you'll see. So, like, I was on a 4-month contract, and I was able to knock it out in 1 month. But the downside of that is that I was literally having like 7 to 8 battles a week. So it got pretty intense. And normally, like, I'll buy, you know, 800 points of armor, you know, like once or twice a month. In this case, I ended up, like, after the first week, I was like, oh my goodness, I am so low on armor right now. And so I stocked up. And then I had 90% salvage, so I was able to recover a lot of that from mostly tanks. But yeah, so it's oh yeah, because of the reinstall, my logo went down. I'll have to fix that. All right, so that is, I think, just about everything that we can do for today. Do we really need to maintain anything right now? The fire starter and the Jenner, inoperable. Might eventually be operable. I'll go ahead and hold off on that for right now. So yeah, we will advance the day. I see some red in there, that's not great. Alright, Friday, April 24th. Armor arrived, right leg arrived, primitive armor, right arm, heat sinks, and some LRM ammo. We did fix the left torso on the Archer, good deal, needed a 5, got an 11. Oh, I think that's what I forgot to do. Oh, well, I guess I didn't forget to, it's already taken care of. I'm glad. Alright, so the sensor's being worked on, fixed the armor on the Atlas, did fail to replace the medium laser on the Stalker, needed an 8, got a 7. Got the upper arm actuator on the Stalker, got the medium laser on the Stalker. Shasa working on the Rifleman, should be, what is that, about 8 days, give or take? 7 or 8 days, I think. Found a bunch of ammo to get delivered. Okay, so this is where all the red came in. Not a big deal, just not finding parts. So yeah, that's totally acceptable. And yeah, XP from ordering all this stuff. Good deal. Speaking of which, you've got 10 XP now. You know what that's enough for. Yeah. Once my administrators become veterans, I try to get them a point of edge. Yeah, like this guy. Speaking of which, you still have... Yeah, you're saving up for something. I don't know. Let me just make sure we've got edge triggers on for acquisition check for all of these guys. Alright, with doctors, I'm trying to save up for elite before I start working on edge. Mechanics and techs, I do the same as the administrators. Once they're veteran, I'll spend their first 10 XP on an edge, and then I'll start saving up for elite status. And then once they're an elite, if they have any extra XP, I'll start maybe spending like a 2nd or 3rd point of edge. But after that, like I tend to start branching out. Like my lead tech for the Fighting Bulldogs has so much XP that she has. Obviously, she's an elite mech tech. She has 3 points of edge, and then I went ahead and got like she's a green mechanic and also I think a regular aerospace tech, which honestly I should have done that the other way around. But at the time I was short of aero techs, so I thought it would be helpful. So yeah, that's just a little bit of behind the scenes. Oh yeah, our pilot's got some XP. Murdoch is broke 40 XP. We could get piloting, make him a 2-2. Alternately, strategy or tactics, we could actually get both. Leadership is also kind of important the way I play, but not until later, because right now you start with a base of 3 lances that you can command +1 per point. So right now he can command 4 lances, and we have 1 bordering on 2. So negotiation also a little less crucial because my administrators have that, but strategy and tactics I think are more important than piloting for him right now. Because tactics affects your mission rerolls and your initiative bonus. Strategy affects your deployment turn when you're reinforcing, or any kind of delayed deployment situation. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, and as a nice little upside to the strategy and tactics is that our unit rating would have just gone up by 2 points, because now this 4 is now 6. We are still a C-rated unit though, so it is what it is. Petra might be looking at a piloting bonus, and not just to keep from falling over, but also to improve melee attacks. I mean, I'd rather have the gunnery, but the piloting is here and now, and the gunnery is 13 points away. I'll hold off on that. Now, Fred Jones, aka Hoser, has enough XP to get piloting, or tactics, or small arms. Not that I'm expecting small arms or tactics to be important at this juncture. Tactics maybe later, small arms not so much. We also have Dodge, Eagle's Eyes, Hopping Jack, which I can't see being really very useful. Human Tiaro could be interesting. Melee Specialist could be interesting. Sensor Geek is less than useful because the sensor rules we use are not inclusive. That is, like on a low roll you get a short range sensor, on a high roll you get a long range sensor. With the inclusive sensor rules, a high roll includes long and short range sensors. We don't play like that. A high roll translates to a long range sensors only, but something could be right in your face and your sensors wouldn't be picking it up. So Sensor Geek is a little less useful the way we play. And actually, let me just go ahead and pull up these tooltips. Alright, so what was it? Sensor Geek? Where's Sensor Geek? I think it was on official. Yeah, Sensor Geek. Specifically, it says a -2 bonus on sensor checks. Note, this is really only a bonus if inclusive sensor ranges are in use. So, I guess I had the high roll, low roll mixed up, because apparently a -2 is a bonus, so you want a low roll. But regardless, it still stands the same. A -2 on your sensor roll is going to let you see things that are further away at the expense of things that are closer to you. Let's see, what else have we got that I was trying to suggest to Hoser? Hopping Jack, not so much. Hot Dog, I'm not a huge fan of because I don't like my heat getting high enough to start making rolls. Maneuvering Ace could be really interesting for a low movement point mech, letting it do a little sidestep instead of turning twice, because proportionally it makes it easier to go around things, because you could save a fifth of your movement points, whereas like a Jenner would only be gaining like a tenth of its movement. Melee specialist, yeah. Natural aptitude is available at character creation only. Range master, I think range master is 40. Range master, yes. Short, medium, long, 40 points. You could save up for that if you want. You're 19 points away. What else have we got? All weather is 60. Blind fighter is 60. So we've got dodge could be interesting. Human TRO you can afford. Just by a gunnery skill, yeah, for sure. Until your gunnery skill gets down to like the 1 or 2 range, and then you're looking at like 60 XP to improve it from there, or 100 if it's already at 1. But yeah, at the level you're at, 40 points for a gunnery or 40 points for a range master, I'd take the gunnery too. Same thing with like hopping jack. I don't usually bother with hopping jack until I've got a gunnery of at least 3, and it would be 40 points to improve. Melee specialist could be good. You do a lot of punching, although again, by the same token, you could just get the piloting, and that would also keep you harder to knock down. Either piloting or just save for gunnery. Let me check something. I think, or rather, I don't think the awesome is stable, but if it is, I must save up for gunnery. But yeah, no, its only quirk is battle fists. So while you haven't, to my recollection, really failed any piloting rolls, like that's partly been risk avoidance on my part, and partly been luck and circumstances. But you're right, I really do. I really want that gunnery too. That gunnery too with those PPCs with the specialization, so you're hitting on zeros out to 6 hexes. That's pretty nuts. Yeah. But as far as saying I can do what I want, I appreciate the sentiment, but this is a character that has your name and your history, so as far as I'm concerned, it's up to you. If you would like to forego the decision making for whatever reason, whether you don't want to be bothered with it or you don't want to commit to anything, I can handle it, sure. But as far as I'm concerned, this would be like if I were playing D&D and the dungeon master told me how to spend my experience. I'd be like, no. Mukai. I'm playing kind of like a hybrid Mukai as I understand it. So there are a couple of rules that I'm either ignoring or altering, but I feel like the gist of most of it is intact the way I play. Things like the piloting ability rolls, or the piloting ability, or the special pilot abilities. Being automatically assigned veteran and elite, I do use that rule. Really? I was not aware of that particular aspect. No, that does not sound like something I'm interested in doing, because you'll see random enemies will spawn. Like I think it was Gribbly, I was telling the other day, yeah, I recruited a pilot that I captured on the field who was a 1-4. So, if they're not going to play by that rule, then I'm not going to either. So, in my world, a 2-4 pilot is perfectly valid and acceptable. Yeah, saving for gunnery sounds like the thing to me. With that much firepower, just every point closer you can bring that to a guaranteed hit is all good. Um, Frederick French has what was that? 15 XP, which I don't think is quite enough for a piloting or a gunnery or really any special abilities. Um, we wanted to maybe spend an edge point or something. You've already got 2. Um, let's see. Vernita is also going to need 20 for anything useful. Okay. So it looks like the only XP we're spending at this juncture is Murdoch improving his strategy and tactics, which hopefully helps us out significantly in the long run. Getting ready for a dog walk. Yeah, I mean, it's about time for me to be wrapping this up, anyways. So I guess what I will do is I will try to remember what I had in mind as far as the repairs go, and I'll pick this back up next week. But that is my time for tonight. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow for some HBS Battletech. Super excited for that. And then also MechWarrior 5 is free to play on Xbox right now. So might be doing some of that at some point. But yeah, for right now, tomorrow, 6 p.m., HBS Battletech. I really hope to see you all there. All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hope everyone has a good night, good week, and all that. We'll catch you next time. All right. Have a good night, y'all.